Because living on that external side, sometimes it's ooh-wee. If you're on the external side of it all, yeah, you outside of the reality of the matter. So sometimes you might have to come inward. You feel me? That you're going to have to come inward. You know what I'm saying? Go inward. That's the you know part that a lot of people don't want to have to identify with is that inward part. They'll come externally and be on all the social media platforms and they'll do all that type of stuff from an external perspective. But when they have to do their self-check and their self-evaluations and tap into their own frequency, tap into the frequency by which they are in this earth as an energy. What they do, YouTubers in the house, come on into the assignment. There's no reason for you not to. Because for these last 3 years, that the creator of all things said, open the laptop and speaking to the mind of the people, I've been here. Did you hear me? I ain't going nowhere. I haven't went anywhere. I've been right here for 3 consecutive years. No one could ever say anything other than that. Did you hear me? I say no one really could say anything other than that. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that he's been consistent and he's been, you know what I'm saying, obedient. And he's done what the creator of all things said do, which was open the laptop and speaking to the mind of the people. And so I've been faithful and I've been fearless, I guess. And I've came in and I've saw and I've conquered anything that will stagnate, hinder, and or prevent me from coming. So since I'm here, I might as well drop a word in your spirit. You heard what I said, in your spirit. I might as well drop a word in your spirit, man. You feel me, sir? All the kings and queens in the earth, I might as well drop something in your spirit. You might as well tap into the vibration, tap into the energy and the aura by which I exude into the earth. Has nothing to do with me, per se. Did you hear me, man? I said it has nothing literally to do with me. I'm just a vessel. I'm just here as a conduit. I'm here as a liaison. I'm here maybe as a mediator. And so I can stand in my frequency. I can stand solid on my vibration. I can stand in the energy source by which source is the source by which that has embodied me. And so since I'm standing, since it's me that has to speak, and nobody can do it for me, just like nobody can do it for you. You're going to have to do it for yourself, man. A surge in the earth. You're going to have to do it for yourself. But anyway, as Kendrick B. Davis, Sr., your thought provoker, I'm here for no other reason than to provoke thought. Cause your mindset shift to shift. And so, since I'm here, I might as well do my assignment. And my assignment this morning is to tell you that there's an art. Did you hear me? I say there's an art that I have to deliver to you this morning, an art. First time you hear that word, the first time you see that word, the first thing you think about is a painting. That's the first thing you think about, sir, is something that you can view. Something that is more, you know what I'm saying, I guess, touchable from the 5 senses by which they tell you to operate from. Those 5 senses. You know what I'm saying? Hearing, touching, smell, and all that tasting, and all that. Those are 5 senses. They just give you, say, oh, you're limited to these 5 senses, but you're going to have to step outside of that for a second. Ooh-wee. As your thought provoker, as the individual who has been called and or chosen in order to deliver a message, I'm here this morning to tell you that there's another artwork. Ooh-wee. that has to be attended to, sir. Amen. In the earth, there's another artwork that you're going to have to pay attention to. So I came this morning to tell you that there's an art of deliberate thought. See how that changed it? See how that changed the narrative from that word art? When I said the word art, the first thing came to your mind was a painting or a picture or a sculpture. You think about art. Ooh-wee. And so the creator this morning said, tell them that there's another art that they're going to have to pay attention to. The art of deliberate thought. See? The art of deliberate thought. Being deliberate in your thinking processes. Paying attention. Becoming aware. Living more in the understanding of it all. Instead of the actuality of it all, and giving that feeling to the actuality of it all, you're going to have to back up out of actuality and just live it out the thought and the feeling of it all. That's when you have the intendedness. That's when you can be intentional. That's when you can be calculated. That's when you become conscious. That's when you understand that you're doing it on purpose. Ooh-wee. So when you're walking in deliberate thought, sir, when you're walking in deliberate mindset shifting, when you're walking in a deliberate healing process and a healed process, past tense, when you done healed yourself from it all, and you can walk in healed perspectives because you understand, you comprehend, you acknowledge, and you have accepted. See, that's a whole other vibration. That's a whole nother frequency. When you have accepted the things that you don't have no control over, and you made it to acceptance of it all. Acceptance is the last stage that you must go through, sir, in a bereaving process. Acceptance. That you have no control over everything that comes your way. Once you have reached the acceptance stage, once you understand it from the capacity by which you don't have no other choice. You heard I say, you don't have no other choice. You really don't have no other choice but to get to the acceptance stage. Yeah, in grief counseling, as I grief counsel individuals, the very first stage is the most hurtfulest stage, and that's the stage of shock and denial. You're in shock. You get the phone call. You're in shock and denial. Is when you first, that's the first stage of grief counseling, of grief certifications, of grief understanding, of grief awarenesses. When you're walking in grief, the very first stage is shock and denial. About 7 more stages between that. You get to that last stage of acceptance, of understanding that you have no control and you had no control over the matter. That, yeah, you buried the child. You buried him. You looked in his face. You saw what you saw. You experienced what you experienced. You endured what you endured. Nobody can't tell you nothing. Nobody can tell you nothing about that. So when you reach the stage of acceptance, you reach the stage of the art of walking in deliberate thought. What I'm discovering about certain stages that people get mad at you when you walk in deliberate thought, and your thoughts are deliberate, and your thoughts are at the surface level by which they are. People get mad at you for walking conscious and walking in complete understanding and complete awareness of the factual matter. And so I just came this morning to tell you that there's a place at the table. There's a place at the table of your own mind where you're going to have to say, okay, I'm going to bring this, I'm going to form this art. Operate from an art of deliberate thought. Whatever capacity that means for you, sir. In whatever capacity that means for you, queen. A aunties in the earth. In whatever capacity that means for you, all the uncles in the earth. All the cousins and cousins. First, second, and third. Yeah. All the nieces and nephews. I said nieces and nephews in this earth, you must hear me. That there's a space of operating from within your understanding called the art of deliberate thought. Being deliberate in your thought processes. Become aware of the awarenesses. Become strategic in your strategies. So, you're going to have to calculate. You might have to become calculated. Past tense. You might have to become intentional. You might have to be aware. Walk in the awareness of it all. And stand in truth. A truth is a part of your warfare armor when you're standing in truth. You got to have your loins girded in truth. And your feet shod with the gospel of preparation of peace. Because peace is a part of your warfare armor too. You got to walk in peace. Yeah. And so, since there is an art of deliberate thought, since the art of deliberate thought is conscious awareness, being conscious about your awareness, being consciously conscious. And so everything you got to do through your thoughts got to be done on purpose. Got to have purpose behind your thoughts. You got to stand on your purpose. You got to stand on your understanding. You got to stand on your value. You got to stand in your worth. You might as well stand. Ooh-wee. I know this was my last day here. I might have to come tomorrow because I missed Tuesday. But at the same time, this session, as I sat here this morning, I was going to rock the orange. The creator checked me and said, put that lab jacket on, sir. Put the lab jacket on because we got to go into the labs of our thoughts, in the labs of our conscientiousness, the labs of our awarenesses. We got to become aware of the awareness. We got to go deeper. We got to go further, faster. You got to walk in understanding through your spirit. Your spirit is first. That's the first true you, is your spirit. You are a spirit being having a human experience. You are spiritual. Second part of you is your mind, where all your thoughts, all your emotions, all your things like that is connected through your mind. You correct, and we think the right thoughts. You stand in the right understanding of it all. It'll drop down to your heart. It'll drop down out your mind to your heart, man. But your heart is the activation field. It's the field by which it exudes that into the atmosphere. Is through your heart chakra. And the feeling that you feel, you better feel it. You better understand that the feeling that you're feeling is leading in you in that direction for a reason. So maybe it's preservation. Maybe it's power. You get your power through dropping it down into your heart. Maybe it's perspectives, that you'll have a different perspective once it hits your heart chakra. As long as it's standing in your mind, that ain't the true activation field. Your activation field is through your heart. That's how the creator of all things connect with his people, connect with his chosen ones, connect with other lights in the earth, is based on your heart chakra. How's your heart? How's your heart? Do you operate from a pure heart? Is your heart pure? So, since I'm here, I understand that I have to tell the mind of the people that there's an art to deliberate thought. There's an art to deliberate thought, thinking deliberate thoughts, being intentional and calculated, being conscious in your thoughts and doing it on purpose. That's the only way sometimes the shift happens. That's the only way sometimes the dormancy of it all and the stagnation of it all has to hit different in order for you to make moves. So, since I'm here talking about the art of deliberate thought, ooh-wee. So, move accordingly. Did you hear me? I say you can move accordingly. I feel free now. I feel like I've given birth. I feel like I've given birth this morning. Something has shifted in the atmosphere. So I feel good. I feel good. In a good space. In a good time. In a good season. Prosperity has no other choice but to saturate. Abundance have no other choice but to give, to reciprocate. All of the goodness that you put out into the atmosphere comes back to you. Be pure, not perfect. It has nothing to do with perfection. People can always find a fault in you, sir. They're going to always find a fault in you, ma'am. All I'm asking you to be is pure, even in the midst of your imperfections. Ooh-wee. That's all I'm asking. I say just be pure in the midst of all of the imperfections. Thank y'all for chiming in. I know we went deep in this session, but sometimes I got to get to your blood raw. I don't know how else to give it. Sometimes there's a wake-up call that comes in the process of the pain. Sometimes that pain is the very prerequisite for the power. The pain is the prerequisite for the perseverance. The pain is a prerequisite for the perspective by which you view it. Through that painful experience. But that pain probably was purposeful. It was purpose-filled. The pain was purpose-filled. Full of purpose. But it caused you to remember it. The pain caused you to remember it. The trauma. The pain caused you to remember that. It was traumatic. But maybe the pain was your preparation. Maybe it was preparation for the call, for the chosen one, for you, for the chosen one. Maybe that was the initiation for you to become a chosen one, was the pain. Because the truth of the matter, everybody has endured it. But there's some pains that runs deeper, that runs more intensified for chosen ones. So maybe the pain was the prerequisite for it, for the preparation that caused the purpose to come forth. Maybe pain was the lens by which brought your purpose into focus. Maybe it was the pain, the painful lens that you had to view it through, that brought your purpose into focus. You was able to focus it. Ooh-wee. So I gotta go, y'all. I am Kendrick B. Davis, Sr., your thought-provoking specialist. I'm your health conscious coach and your intellectual content creator. But I'm also your podcast professor. Don't ever get that twisted. I gotta go. I've said enough. I've given birth. So I guess through it all, through all the painful processes that we all must go through in this thing called life's curriculums, I guess one day we'll be able to look back over it all and say, in spite of everything that I've gone through, in spite of all of the ups, the downs, the trials, the tribs, the ins, the outs, in spite of all that stuff that I had to go through in life's curriculums, through life's curriculums, with life curriculums, and I would still have to say I'm undeniably covered. Ooh-wee. I say I'm undeniably covered. In spite of it all, I'm undeniably covered. So you're going to have to say that for yourself, ma'am. You're going to have to say that for yourself, sir. I can't say that for you, and you can't say that for me. In spite of everything people might know, the things that might be said, even the truth at the top side of the hourglass and the lies at the bottom. People spoke lies over your life, and they wanted you to attach yourself to the lie. That don't belong to me. It don't belong to me. I don't have to accept your lie into my life. That's your lie. Has nothing to do with me. So move accordingly. Move accordingly. Truth has to be a part of the top part of the hourglass. Lies has to be at the bottom. Alkalinity is at the top. Acidity is at the bottom. Awareness is at the top. Walking in unawareness is at the bottom. Consciousness is at the top. Being unconscious is at the bottom. You are undeniably covered. I say we are undeniably covered. You got to say that for yourself. And you can say it as a collective. I say you can say it as a collective because source is present. Source is present. So undeniably covered, y'all. We are undeniably covered. You have to embody it. So go forth. Move forward. Move forward. Go forth. It's okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. What you need me to say? What do you need me to say? It's going to be all right. The art of deliberate thought. I got to go. Y'all be safe. Peace and blessings to every individual in the sound of my voice. Yeah, peace and blessings. I'll see y'all on the other side.